I'm Kevin. I'm going to be taking you through the install of our rifle skin today. First thing we're going to want to do is get this gun outside, and we're going to get it cleaned up really well. With these Hogue overmolded stocks or anything like a polymer, any sort of synthetic stock, we want to go ahead and use some CRC, non-chlorinated brake cleaner on that. We're just going to soak it down, scrub it really good, get in all the contours, focus on the edges along the scope mounts. Let's get to it. So we're going to go ahead and get our rifle cleaned up here. Use my CRC again. I'm just going to kind of wet the gun with it all the way around. And with these synthetic stocks, I like to run the brush over them, not have to go crazy with it. But you can see there's some contours and some texture to the stock, and we want to make sure that shows through the skin and maintains that hold on the gun. We're just going to scrub those areas in particular and focus on some of the recessed areas. I'm going to hit it again up here along where the scope mount is, because I could see there was some oil holding in there, so I just want to scrub that a little extra, get it clean. Right here, open that up in here where the bolt sits. So you can do the same thing with frog lube solvents or any other cleaner. You just want to make sure you clean it well, take your time. And then what I'm doing here is just kind of like a final rinse, just to make sure all the residue just kind of runs off there and there's nothing left behind. We're gonna go ahead and let that dry. We're ready to move on with our install. All right, so we have our gun cleaned. We're ready to move forward with the install. I got the piece out of my kit here for the forend, so that's where we're gonna start. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna center that up right here on the bottom where my trigger is. I'm gonna make a cut. A couple cuts to get it started. You want to make sure you leave yourself enough material to cover up around the top of this forend here. And we want to get back about even with the back side of the trigger guard. So I got that where I want it. Set it centered up. Press it into place. Sling mount there. Just going to take my knife, make a little relief cut. Doesn't have to be anything crazy, just enough to pull that apart, and then around that. Once I get that in place, I'm going to just start working my way up and around towards the barrel. Just using my fingers as I go to press the material in place. A little bit of heat to help it stretch or relieve the tension. You just want to take your time. We're going to work it up along the edge of this barrel. Press the material into place. Use some heat, and we're just going to tuck it right up along the edge of the barrel. Press it into place with a squeegee or a piece of cardboard, whatever you got to do to make it happen. So we're going to let that material cool. While that's cooling, I'm going to work my way around the other side of the barrel, doing the same thing. Use a squeegee, kind of walk it in along that edge of the receiver and the barrel. Press that in. Let that cool while we work on this side again. All right, I'm gonna take my knife, lay it in there at an angle away from the stock, and just follow that seam that I created with my squeegee. Right here you can see there's like a natural seam in the receiver, follow that. So I'm going to work that material up in there where the bolt sits. Get it as far as I can before the tension's too much. And I'll just take my knife down the middle, split that. Okay. Work our way around to the other side. Same thing, we're just going to angle our blade in there, away from the stock. All right, so as we come up to the front of the forend here, it's got a pretty abrupt cut back towards the barrel. What I like to do is I take my knife and I angle it at the edge of the stock there away. And I do the same on the other side, a similar angle. Pull those two pieces back. I take this piece, I hit the piece, I take this piece, I hit it with heat. Move it like that. All right, so I'm going to trim this piece around the barrel here. That, get it out of the way. I'm going to bring these pieces over the top of that. And I want to overlap these enough to where I can trim along the pattern to blend out those seams. Same thing on this side. All right, so I showed how we can fold it across, trim across the edge there to kind of blend it out. Now I'm going to show where kind of have a little mess up there, how we can blend it out with another piece of the pattern. Temp it up in place, and then hit it with heat and stretch it. All right, so I'm going to run some heat around some of the little parts and pieces, just kind of detail it out, then we'll let it cool and trim that off. So we have our forend piece in, trimmed it up. We're gonna move on to the left buttstock. And how I like to do this is I wanna trim along the pattern to the best that I can. You can't always hit it, but you wanna try and blend it out along the pattern. Pick that up. I'm gonna drop it in, center it up. If you like where it's at, you just keep working it in. If not, you pick it up, reposition it. You just want to make sure you get halfway around the top and about to where you'll be about halfway around the bottom. Once we have this top set, we want to trim it off just a little bit over halfway. That right side stock piece is going to come up over the top of this one. So I'm just going to keep working the material down underneath the pistol grip here. Same thing, we're trying to get just over halfway. Just trim out around that sling mount there. Press the material over. Trim it off just about halfway, a little over halfway. ready to move on to the right side. All right, same thing, I'm just gonna trim along the pattern. To the best of my abilities. And then center it up. You want to make sure you get halfway around the top and halfway around the bottom. Let's get it where you want it. Get it with some heat. And then we'll work it around the top and the bottom just like we did on the other side. And you're good. So I'm going to set the material here on top. Then we're going to let it cool and I'm going to come back and I'm going to trim along that pattern to blend it out. So I didn't spend a lot of time blending that out. Just went with a straight cut on the bottom since it's pretty well hidden. Okay, ready to move on to the barrel piece. So what I'm going to do, kind of mock my piece up here where it's going to go, trim it off so I'm not working with too much extra. Set that off to the side, peel it off the backing. I'm going to start centered. Kind of work my thumb right down the center of the barrel. Some heat where we need to loosen the material up, and we're just going to roll it down towards the stock. Same on the other side. Find what my stock's coming in. Put the piece down underneath the barrel. Get any wrinkles, you can just peel it back up, stretch them out. Whoa. Come back to our top pieces here. We're going to trim it off. Angle down in. Just kind of hit it with heat. Tuck that edge in where you just ran the knife, in case it's still a little loose. My piece of foam. I'm gonna get the end here where this thread protector's on here. I'm gonna get it real hot and then press on it with the foam. Bring out those contours. All right, so I have this pressed in here. I'm just gonna angle my blade away from the thread protector and trim all that excess away. Good to go. So for the receiver, we go ahead and use, since I didn't use all the barrel, this has a little bit shorter barrel than some rifles. We give you enough material for a 30-inch barrel. I think this is a 20. So I'm gonna go ahead and use this piece to finish out on the receiver. I just want to cut it pretty much down the middle. I'm gonna trim out along the pattern. run it even with the back of that scope mount. Trim off the excess here at the bottom of the mount. And we'll move on to the other side. Let's just place the piece, send it up over the, I don't even need to say it, placed it. All right, so we have all our parts and pieces installed. We're gonna move on to our last step. It's called post-heat. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a heat gun. We're just gonna work the whole gun over, pressing on the material, just working it into place. You're detailing it out, but you're also setting the material to keep a good adhesion to the gun. You're gonna spend a good long while doing this. And you really wanna focus on the grip. Anywhere that there's texture to the stock coming through there, you want to just really press on the material to bring it through. You get a little air like that trapped under there, just poke a hole in it. So here's our completed rifle skin install. Thanks for watching.
Wrap up your guns and gear, camouflage it all out. GunSkins is here, flat rate, shipping that's right. $5, fully loaded, guaranteed to make you holler. If you ain't happy, get your money back. AR-15 skin, it's where it's at. Mag Reps pistol skin, give me 2 or 3 of that. Install it yourself, it's so easy, yeah. Get yourself a gun skin, have fun with it. Get yourself a gun skin. Have fun with it, made in the USA. Waterproof, matte finish, 5-year warranty. They done did it, GunSkins.